welcome to Today's Woman. Today's topic is good business communications.
Hi, I'm Rosalind Poon, and welcome to Today's Woman. And today we have the exceptional, incredible Lisa Ferrell. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Roz. Well, thanks for having me today.
You're quite welcome, dear. Would you believe Lisa, she doesn't look like it, right, was in broadcasting for 35 years. That's amazing. You survived.
I did.
Wow.
I did.
And not only that, but she's here today because she also, when she retired from broadcasting, she then went on to develop an incredible business with her husband Jesse. Is that right?
That's right.
Terrific. Okay, so today, given that you've got such a big, expansive experience in communications, what are some of the things that you think are important about communication in business?
I believe it's important when you're having a conversation with somebody to be present and in the moment with them, because we tend to think about what we're going to say next, and so we're not really listening to what that person's saying because we're so busy wanting to know what to answer, that it's important to be present and listen and be in the moment so that you can actively engage with that person.
I think I agree with you completely. And one of the things that I find in talking to people around Vegas is that they in fact, it was just last Friday, I was having lunch with a lady and we were talking about certain things, and she mentioned that one of the things that she likes about Bunker, sorry, this is not meant to be an advert for Bunker, by the way, but it just happened to be, right, is that when he talks to you, or you talk to him, he's fully engrossed in what you're saying. So he's not flitting around. So apparently in Vegas we all do this. Oh yes, fine.
The shiny penny, squirrel.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So do you find that in business here that people tend to do that? That they're not really focused on when you're talking to them?
I do, especially because we come from the coaching world. So a lot of people, you need to bring them and center them and bring them forward to being present in the moment, to really activate and engage in that conversation of communication and connection.
I think it makes a lot of sense, because obviously if they're not in the moment with you, then I gather they're not really listening, or it's not sinking in, or...
So then a way to handle that would be, let me check for understanding. If I heard you correctly, I heard you say blah, blah, blah.
Right. Okay. All right. I think in my world, before I came to Las Vegas, I had a lot to do with the IT industry. And I found that I was always saying to someone, when I'd listen to them, and I'd actually say, so what you said was blah.
Right.
Yes. Confirm.
And to further talk about that,
yes,
to have a conversation, some people just have a monologue. They just talk, and just kind of throw up all over you. Rather, it's better to have a dialogue where you're dialoguing and you volley the conversation back and forth. It makes for a much more interesting conversation.
So what term did you just use then? Was it?
To volley.
Like in tennis?
To volley the conversation instead of a monologue.
Yes.
One, have it be a dialogue between two.
Wow. Well, I think that's a great thing. I mean, I must admit, two women having a conversation is a bit of a treat. That's right. It's sort of like, yes, well, you start or I start, and then 3 hours later.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I think that's important. So communication then for you is more about allowing the other person to also interact, but also like active listening.
Yes.
Which I think is a term I heard a few years ago and I haven't heard lately.
Yes.
Maybe people don't do it lately.
But also when you check for an understanding, you might have heard it differently than they intended it to be.
True.
So you check for clarification on what you want said.
I think that's brilliant. I like that. Yes. I think a lot of people probably feel a little bit nervous about doing that because they don't want to come across as being silly.
Right.
But I think that's not really the case. I think the point is that by doing that, what you're doing is you're making the person giving you the message that you really are concerned about getting it right.
Right. And validating that person, letting them know that they've been heard.
I think that's incredible.
And my last part I'd like to say is always leave them wanting more in the conversation.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Leave them wanting more. Yes, that's right. So they'll answer the phone call the next time you ring them. That's right.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, got it. Well, thank you very much, Ben. So thank you very much, Lisa. And so today what Lisa has given us is some great information, and that is that we really need to create dialogue, which is volley, which I think is an interesting term, where each party gets a chance to look at. We have active listening. So rather than flitting around and having your mind on what you want to say next, you actually shut your mind down for a second and listen to the other person. And thirdly, leave them wanting more. So I think that's terrific.
Yes.
So we'll do exactly that. We'll leave you wanting more.
Perfect.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.